Friday the 13th was released on the Commodore 64 in 1986 by the British software company Domark. The previous year they acquired the license to produce James Bond games, with their first being the tie-in recently released A View to a Kill, and they held that license right up to the early 90s. Besides these and a lot of pretty good Atari arcade ports to the Commodore 64, they weren't known as the movie guys. That was fellow British software house Ocean's domain. This was one of their rare movie games, although technically speaking this game is not based on any particular movie, just the overall movie themes and main character Jason, the destroyer of teen and young adult dreams, one massive machete slice at a time. By the time this game was released in 1986, the movie franchise had just released Part 6, Jason Lives, although the game cover is taken directly from the fourth entry, 1984's The Final Chapter, which ironically was not the final chapter in typical horror fashion. The game's story is the cliche combination of most of the movies, as a bunch of obnoxious young 80s stereotype brats go on a weekend camping trip to Camp Crystal Lake, which at this point, if they didn't know about its huge body count, they probably deserve to die. Once there, Jason appears, the resident butcher of teens, and massacres everyone except the last standing girl or guy. In a sense, the game actually plays out much in the same way as the movie's cheesy B-movie tropes, which all spill over into this game's overall design, which is a glorious mess at times, but unintentionally becomes a perfect replica of the movie's themes and cliches.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Cloner Alliance is a fantastic affordable video capture device that can be linked directly to your PC and can be used as a completely independent system for all types of video capture. It's an excellent solution for VCR, DVD, and retro gaming recordings, coming with all the necessary connections you need. You can record both analog and digital straight to a USB drive with a simple click of a remote button, plus instant video playback as well. Great for not only retro games, but modern systems with multiple resolution, 60 frames per second capture, PAL and NTSC compatible, very simple and easy setup with some straightforward user instructions, plus bonus extra downloadable software free of charge. This device is available now on Amazon and their website. All links to the system are in the video description, and I thank them for this sponsorship. Gameplay is quite clever on paper. It doesn't quite translate to greatness though, but it was a game we played a lot in the 1980s, probably due to its random nature and structure. It's essentially the board game Clue, as you randomly get assigned one of 5 main characters that foolishly decides to visit Camp Crystal Lake. There are 10 characters in total in each game, and unlike the movies, Jason is actually masquerading as one of them. You gotta figure out who he is and kill him before he kills everyone else. So essentially, you're a serial killer yourself, an 80s version of Dexter. The game takes place around the campgrounds of Crystal Lake with lots of locations to visit in flip screen style, including a holiday home, barn, church, forest, and graveyard. The camp is literally filled with all sorts of weapons to pick up and use against Jason or for your own defense, including axes, throwing knives, javelins, chainsaws, pitchforks, and more. Some are projectiles and other are melee in style. The bottom of the screen has all your stats, the weapon you're currently using, the barbells indicate your energy, and all 10 innocent civilians are shown below. When someone is killed though by Jason, they are replaced with a tombstone. The quicker you find and kill Jason, with a low innocent civilian body count, the higher your overall ending score will be. It then restarts with you being a new character and Jason becomes someone else. So it's basically a score-chasing action version of Clue in video game form. Graphically, this game wins no awards. Even in 1986, it was average at best, but it still has a real retro charm to it. Unlike the movies, Jason never actually wears his mask. When you figure out who it is, or if you happen to stumble into a location where he's murdering someone, he'll be dressed in black. You can interfere and try to save the poor sap, or just wait until he corpses him and redisguises himself. Then you'll know who he is. And quickly head around the next corner, grab the most potent weapon and start the killing. Sometimes Sometimes when entering a new location or randomly, a huge jump scare splash screen will pop up with a blood-curdling scream as someone dies. It's a classic movie trope that translates very well. The first time this happened, I swear all of us playing almost had a freaking heart attack. The music in this game can be pretty bizarre, a combination of ominous B-movie horror tones mixed with children's music such as A Teddy Bear's Picnic and Old MacDonald's Farm are all cued when entering different locations around the park. The crazy Beethoven and Bach covers is saved for usually when Jason is busy murdering somebody off screen. This is truly a strange little game that both works and doesn't at the exact same time. It's riddled with lots of bugs and sloppy programming. You can literally go around and just stab everyone to see if they reveal themselves as Jason, negating most of the game's gameplay. And besides that screeching death scream, the music is messy and can be really whiny sometimes. But still, for whatever reason, this mess has a high nostalgia pull for me. Whether it was the company I was playing the game with, or the memories of people freaking out with every death scream, knowing you may be next. And for that reason, it did manage to actually capture in some bizarre way the tone and feel of the movies quite accurately, more so than most licensed games of the classic 1980s era.